Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Let's get into it. MicroStrategy, now called Strategy Inc., has once again made headlines, but not for the reasons investors were hoping for. The company just reported a massive quarterly loss tied to falling Bitcoin prices, and the stock has been extremely volatile. Today, we're going to break down the latest news, what's really happening with Strategy stock, the risks investors need to understand, and whether this could still be a long-term opportunity. Strategy reported a roughly $12 billion loss for the fourth quarter of 2025, but this wasn't from its software business. It came mostly from accounting losses on Bitcoin holdings. After the recent crypto market drop, the company recorded a massive markdown on the value of its Bitcoin Treasury. Strategy now holds over 700,000 Bitcoin, making it the largest corporate Bitcoin holder in the world. That's the key thing to understand about this stock. Strategy is no longer primarily valued as a software company. It's essentially a Bitcoin treasury company that also sells enterprise analytics software. And because of that, the stock behaves very differently from traditional tech companies. If you've watched the stock before, you know it tends to move more dramatically than Bitcoin itself. That's because the company uses leverage raising capital through debt and stock offerings to buy more Bitcoin. This creates a multiplier effect. When Bitcoin rises, MSTR often rises faster. When Bitcoin falls, MSTR often falls harder. That's exactly what investors have seen recently. Over the past year, the stock has dropped more than 50%, driven largely by Bitcoin's volatility and investor concern about the company's aggressive crypto strategy. This makes MSTR one of the most volatile large cap stocks in the market. Its beta is extremely high, meaning price swings can be dramatic in both directions. Despite the losses, leadership says they are not changing direction. Strategy continues to follow a simple philosophy: accumulate Bitcoin long term and don't sell. The company still has billions in liquidity and does not appear to face immediate solvency risk. The software business, which originally defined MicroStrategy, now plays a much smaller role in the company's valuation. Most investors are buying MSTR, primarily for Bitcoin exposure, not enterprise software growth. That shift changes how the stock should be analyzed. Let's talk about why investors are still bullish on MSTR. First, it provides leveraged exposure to Bitcoin without directly buying crypto. Second, if Bitcoin enters another major bull market, MSTR could significantly outperform. Historically, that's exactly what has happened during strong crypto cycles. Some analysts still have aggressive price targets on the stock, assuming Bitcoin recovers in the coming years. And because the company holds such a large amount of Bitcoin, even moderate price increases in crypto could dramatically improve Strategy's balance sheet. For long-term Bitcoin believers, this stock can look attractive, but that brings us to the risks. The biggest risk is simple. Bitcoin controls the story. If Bitcoin declines or stays flat for a long period, MSTR may struggle. Large accounting losses can continue to appear during crypto downturns, which can scare investors and pressure the stock price. There's also balance sheet risk. Because Strategy has used debt and capital raises to accumulate Bitcoin, volatility in crypto markets can translate into volatility in the company's financial position. And finally, the core software business is no longer the main driver of value. This means traditional valuation metrics don't tell the full story. Investors have to think of MSTR differently now. Many investors now treat MSTR as something similar to a leveraged Bitcoin ETF. The stock often trades based on the value of its Bitcoin holdings compared to its market capitalization, sometimes called the multiple to net asset value. Recently, that ratio has fallen, meaning the market may be valuing the company at close to or even below the value of its Bitcoin assets. Depending on your outlook on crypto, that could either be a warning sign or a potential opportunity. It really comes down to one question: what do you think Bitcoin will do next? Here's the bottom line. In the short term, MSTR is likely to remain highly volatile and closely tied to crypto sentiment. In the long term, the stock is essentially a high risk, high reward bet on Bitcoin adoption and price appreciation. If Bitcoin rallies again, strategy could benefit significantly. If crypto struggles, the stock could remain under pressure. If you found this breakdown helpful, consider subscribing for more stock analysis videos. I am not a financial advisor. This content is for educational and informational purposes only. You should conduct your own research or consult with a certified professional before making any investment decision.